Hey, I hope all is well with you. We got an interesting one here today. The first experiment that we're going to be trying is seeing if we can go extreme first before we actually dial it in. If that makes any sense. I used to do autocrossing. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's car racing in a parking lot. And a lot of times what we usually do is that we walk the course. And after we walk the course, or when we get in a car, we just pretty much go all out to see the limits of the car, seeing what we need to push, what we don't need to push, and all that good stuff. So in this case, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be pushing it on the spectrums. We're still going to do 3 tests, but we're going to be pushing it on the spectrum. So we're going to do 1-to-10 ratio, 1-to-15, and 1-to-20. I think the 1-to-10 and 1-to-20 are really good extremes there because they'll let us know if that's where the coffee needs to be, or we may just be perfectly fine with 1-to-15, what I'm usually accustomed to doing. I don't know about you, but I'm a 1-to-15 person. And I have this interesting new coffee that I thought was crap because I was mostly brewing it at a 1-to-15 ratio. I later found out after weeks of using 1-to-15, 1-to-16, is that coffee loves to be at a 1-to-10 ratio. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was stronger. I can connect more with the flavors of the coffee. And it really changed my whole concept of 1-to-10 is just strong. You're just going to get it strong. You're not really going to taste the difference of the coffee. So that's what we're going to be doing. The interesting thing about this coffee is that, I roasted it about 3 weeks ago. Smells absolutely amazing. It's Ethiopian coffee. Oh my God. So smells really good. But it's a medium roast, I believe so. We are just going to see what we can do with this particular coffee. We are going to brew them all the same. The only real big difference is that one of them is going to be 1-to-10, 1-to-15, and 1-to-20 ratio. We're going to be doing 10 grams each and seeing what we taste in the coffees. Since I'm anticipating this coffee to be a lot more acidic, a lot more fruity forward, I don't really want to accentuate or bring that out more. I kind of want to see if I can create balance from the get-go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using about 110 ppm. That's more so like on the sweeter side than the acidic side with the coffees. Because I want more balance. I want more sweetness without even knowing what this coffee is all about. I'm also going to accentuate that or try to massage it or bring it out a little bit more with a flatbed brewer. At least for me, I've noticed that flatbed brewers, they're more accustomed to making coffees a little bit sweeter than acidic compared to the Hario V60 cone-shaped filters of the world. So that's the place that we're going to be leaning into, and we're going to see where we're going to go. We're going to be using the Sculpture 78. We're going to be using a 13 on the actual grinder. We're not going to do no TDS. We're just going to taste the coffee, so we're going to go from there. Okay, so let's pull 30 grams out of here and let's get at it. Oh my God, it smells so good. We're going to do 200 degrees Fahrenheit on the grinder. So this is essentially going to be like a 1 pour if I do it this way. I think I may do 30 grams so I can get 2 pours to see if we can kind of even it out that way. Starburst, very fruity. So damn, smells amazing. I'm gonna wait out 30 seconds. So we're gonna do this one, take this one up to 70 minus to 65 grams of total weight. Let it draw down a little bit. And then we're gonna take it up to 100 grams. So this is gonna be our 1-to-10 ratio. Very slow drawdown, that seems. What I'm noticing with this coffee. It could be that the grind could be a little bit too fine, but again, we're not doing TDS, we're just doing on taste. About 1:50. So for the next one. So we're gonna do 10 grams in. We're gonna take this one to 1-to-15. So we'll just do 50, then 50, then 50. Wait about 30 seconds. And then once we're done with the 30 seconds, we're gonna go ahead and pour the next pour and then the next one and go from there. Let it draw down some more, which again, is taking a lot longer than I ever thought it would really do on this particular coffee. And now we're gonna take it to 150. So why am I doing this? I'm seeing if this is a cool way to actually go about drinking your cup of coffee. That canister is about 250 grams of coffee. So I want to kind of like analyze it as quickly as possible with knowing some of the tasting notes and the things that we normally do with coffee to see if we can get a little bit closer to what it should be for us. Like I said, it's cool to know all the tasting notes and things on the bag, but that kind of doesn't matter once you get the coffee. You're brewing it for your tastes and your style and the way that you like to drink that coffee. I'm going to take this to 50, and then we're going to wait another 20 to 22 seconds for this coffee to bloom. And I think we're going to take this to 125, and then the last one's going to be all the way up to the 200 gram total. I normally don't like coffees at 1 to 20. They taste dull. It's hard to decipher exactly what you're tasting, but it may actually work. It may be actually a lighter roast than anticipated. And I've noticed that lighter roasts, they tend to do a little bit better at a 1 to 20 ratio. Play around with the tea-like type of characteristics. First impression of this Ethiopian supposedly medium roasted coffee. Well, strong, fruity, acidity is there. It lingers a little bit. Not bad. I'm tasting a little bit more acidity on this particular coffee. So it's a little bit warmer compared to the first one, which makes sense. Let's go back to the medium roast. It has like a pineapple type of acidity on the end of the finish of it. I wouldn't necessarily say that it has that grapefruity type of taste. It does now with the aftertaste. That's not necessarily bad. I think 1 to 10 is a little bit too strong for me. It's hard to decipher a little bit of what I'm actually tasting. It tastes a little muddy. And 1 to 15 seems just where it needs to be. Tastes watery. Not really sweet at all. So I would say that when I do this again, I can probably play around with the 1 to 16 ratio. 1 to 15 is not bad, but it's still pretty strong for what it is. 1 to 15, as it cools, it's getting a lot more presentable. It's kind of cool to taste these back to back like this to see the difference. Yeah. 1 to 10 is a little bit more stringent. The acidity is more pronounced. It's intense. It's right in your face. Seems to be opening up a lot more at the 1 to 15 ratio. I think 1 to 16, 1 to 17 may be where it needs to be, this coffee in particular. This one that tastes more like tea than all the other two. Yeah, it's kind of hard to know really what direction I'm going to go in, but I think I'm leaning towards 1 to 15 to 1 to 16 ratio. Maybe play around the 1 to 17 to see what that does with the coffee. Also play around with the grind size, probably go a little bit coarser than anticipated. But the April filter isn't the fastest filter out there, but it's still relatively fast. And I was concerned why the water was doing what it was doing with those particular coffees. So it probably extracted a little bit too much of the undesirables, if that makes any sense. So I may play around with more of the faster filter papers, see if that works, see if I can get that type of acidity a little bit down, a little bit more. Probably increase the ppm also of the coffee to see if I can get a little bit more sweetness out of the coffee. I think the direction I'm going in right now is pretty good. It's just one of those things to where you have to like taste it initially. And then I do like this idea of doing it based off different strength levels to see which ones you like more first. And then kind of more so tailoring all the other things that you do with the coffee moving forward. And as we do that, we're just going to be better at tasting coffee, brewing coffee, trying our own different recipes, and seeing what it's all about. That's what I have for you. Let me know what you think. Do you do something similar to this? Do you like it at a 1 to 10 most of the time or every time? Or do you like it at 1 to 15, 1 to 20? Let's talk about it. Talk to you later. Bye.